I kind of begrudgingly respect just the dedication to not getting better at what you do for a living. Just coast through life.
It probably shouldn't even happen.
If you got it, you got to flaunt it, Acid.
You know what? I got a lot of stuff that I don't want to flaunt, so I just keep it to myself.
Jeremy is really big into the used mattresses. That's an excellent deal.
He has a used mattress store on the side. And we found out that Anthony's friends are all 13-year-old boys. Nice.
Whoever wins gets Acid's ball soap. Clay, how you doing?
Doing a little more poorly after that terrible introduction. I was just fine, to be honest with you.
Hello, Sci-Fi Gangsters. This is the show where we talk about science fiction, comic books, and video games, but really it's just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends. I'm Anthony Denar, I'm sorry, I'm Dr. Anthony Denar. I'm going to try to use that title as much as possible. But our topic for today is creating our dream X-Men MCU cast, right? Obviously, the X-Men are coming to the MCU. And what we're going to do is we're going to take turns. We've all been assigned X-Men characters, and we're going to describe our dream casting. So we're going to create our X-Men team, our X-Men cast together as a group, as a family. That's what we're going to be doing here today. Before we get started, I do want to remind everybody that you can check out all our podcasts wherever you get your podcasts, mostly just Spotify and Apple. Also, we've been doing a lot of Star Trek Adventures. If you're a big fan of Star Trek and Star Trek Adventures, we have several episodes that you can check out, having a whole lot of fun doing that. But let's go ahead and get to our guests here today. Once again, one of the things that we like to do here is we like to catch up. So let's go ahead and get to, we'll start off with our special guest, and that is CJ. CJ, how you doing?
Doing great. How you guys doing? I hope all is well.
Well, fantastic. Now, CJ, you have missed several of our Star Trek Adventures. Just canceling at the last minute like you always do, which is always great. I'm just joking, of course, but
He's not. He's mad.
No. I deliberately made the new Star Trek Adventures, so like the reboot that we've been doing, or the soft reboot. I've been deliberately doing it to where if someone misses it, it's really not that big of a deal. But definitely have missed you. But it's good to see you here today.
My character was bromating. That is a lizard hibernation during these times. And yes, the wrestling season is over. All three of my sons are done wrestling. They had a great season this year. My sophomore did well. He just barely missed going to sectionals. My middle schooler, he did well. He got third place in one of his events. And my youngest son, he accomplished his emotional and mental anxiety, if you want to call them anxieties. He did a very good job pushing through this year. That's what we're facing, not crying, that type of stuff. But it was a good time overall. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited to get back to my regular routine. I can get back into the gym and I can eat like a normal human being now.
Of course, I have to say it. You clearly, CJ, you don't work out at all. I'll just have to say that. It just feels like something I have to say to make fun of people. Is just to say you don't work out.
No.
But do you even lift, bro? No, CJ, it's good to have you here. Obviously, I think I also we're on the same wavelength in terms of our kids playing sports, and obviously I coach my son Victor's soccer team every season, I guess you could say, so we can sort of connect on that. But I'm glad to hear that the little ones were having a good season of wrestling. Anything new going on in your life right now?
Just a few things. Wait, hold on. I officially made my own arcade stick, so those officially go on sale.
You made your own arcade stick that's going on sale.
Yes, boom, here it is. It's called the Verity Pro by Team Capri, and you can take off the lever and put it on and all that good stuff. And you can have your own custom design. Shameless plug there. And then I just more recently got a new position in the Army I am officially a battalion XO, meaning that I am second in command of a battalion. So you have the platoon level, then you have company level, then you have the battalion level. So I'm one level under being at that brigade level, and that's going to be the next one for me because I just finished up the school. It's called IOE, and that means I get to get promoted to lieutenant colonel here within the next year and a half or so.
Wow. How old are you, CJ?
I'll be 40 next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't look it.
I know I got the
that's
Benjamin
impressive.
Button disease. I grow backwards.
Excellent. We're all kind of the same age. It's kind of interesting how that worked out. But
I'm
congratulations
29.
on this.
Y'all are in your 40s. You know. what can
Yeah,
I say?
technically, yeah. I told my wife 2 years ago. I was like, I will not go past 37, but I still have to keep track so I can tell you guys, so you don't feel bad when you guys start sharing your ages and stuff.
Well, very good. Well, congratulations on all the recent success, and definitely, that joystick seems like a great joystick. Definitely check that out. All our listeners, look, we're gonna get you so much. So many sales.
yeah.
All our fans.
Elon Musk and everybody that was
Just
listening to
everybody
his
who listens
live
to the
podcast are all
podcast,
here now.
be all
Yep,
over
they're
that.
all here.
Yeah, they're all here.
They're all here. So how much is the fight stick going to be going for?
It really depends. The PCBs are probably the most expensive thing in these arcade sticks. So if you're getting a PCB that's just for your PC, it's going to be closer to the 210, 220 range. Whereas when you get the new one that's for the multi consoles where you're able to play in your Xbox, your PlayStation, your PC, you name the device, that's going to be a little bit more expensive looking towards the 280 and 290 price range. And remember, the designs are custom. Get whatever you want on there.
So I can put my face on there if I want it on there.
Oh, absolutely. And where the joystick is, you can put your nose.
There you go.
Or, if you want
I can put your face on there.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to put, yourself with your shirt off and the buttons are your nipples, you can do that.
I love that. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great idea. But
Very good. We'll definitely check out those. Is there a website where someone could go to order that?
Yes, sir. Yes, mbsoul.bigcartel. I'll put it in the chat there, bigcartel.com. You'll be able to get that alongside with T-shirts, jerseys, mugs, stickers, hoodies. And here goes a hoodie right here. We got the Team Capri hoodie right there.
Well, there you go. Definitely check that mdbigdaddy.com. I think that's what you said, but definitely check out that.
Did you put it in there?
Excellent.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I missed it.
All right. Well, very good. Excellent. Well, definitely good to have you here, CJ. It's been a while since I've seen you, and it's always good to see you.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and
And you're
move
handsome
on
today, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. I always like to hear it. I always like to get the compliments. We'll go ahead and move on to the co-host, or one of my co-hosts here. That's Jeremy. Jeremy, what's new with you?
Nothing as cool as designing my own video game thingy. I already forgot what it was called. Yeah.
It's a fight stick, Jeremy.
Not a big arcade person. But no, been keeping busy with work. I have played a little bit of a new game. Well, it's not that new. I think it's probably like 8 months old at this point. It's called Star Trek Resurgence. It's
Okay.
It's all right. It's it scratches the itch of something Star Trek. It's like a Telltale kind of game. If y'all have played any of those, like a almost a visual novel kind of thing. Yeah, it's fun. The once I finish
Is that the one with Spock? Or is that a
Spock is in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Leonard Nimoy's. It was after he had passed away, but yeah, Spock is a character in there. And then the remaster of Star Wars Dark Forces came out today, which I'll have to pick up. And then Dune Part 2 comes out tomorrow, so it's a pretty good week.
Obviously, so the reviews have already come out with Dune Part 2. I've tried to avoid them. I haven't looked at any of the reviews. Excuse me, any reviews.
Oh, wow.
No.
It's that margarita.
Yeah, I wanted what he's
You
having.
got a one margarita.
That was impressive.
I did have a margarita before you, so that might be explaining why I'm so fantastic. So I haven't looked at any of the reviews yet, but I am looking forward to seeing Dune.
Yeah, it's got a very good. I just looked at like the overall rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's very high. I was a little concerned based on the poster they put out. It seemed a little weird to me given the story, but I'm confident it'll be good.
Don't tell my wife I'm there for Zendaya.
Mm,
That's the only reason why to go see it right now.
that's a good reason to go see it, I guess.
It's lovely.
Nothing
She is
wrong with
lovely.
it. And then of course the popcorn bucket too. You're there, just watch Zendaya and you get that popcorn bucket, and then you're good to go. Jeremy, are you gonna buy that popcorn bucket when you get there?
I'm gonna take it home with me. Yeah.
You gotta take that. You take it home. Get some personal time with that popcorn bucket. Have you seen any of the memes with that? I'm sure you've sent me one. I know, Jeremy, but has anyone else seen the meme for the Dune popcorn buckets? All right. Well, I'm sure you'll probably see it in the near future. If you're wondering what we're talking about, CJ or Acid,
I don't know
just
what you're talking
Google Dune 2 popcorn bucket, and you'll see what's going on. You'll see what the memes that are going around.
about. Oh, it auto-filled for me. I hit Dune 2 and then popcorn bucket just showed
is
up.
this the little? It's the little. Looks like a butt.
Oh my.
Well, sure. Right?
Yeah.
Have
That's
fun
what I
with the
can
popcorn.
say.
That
Have fun with the
is
popcorn bucket.
that is something special right there. Let me tell you.
Yeah. You can practice wiping.
I think so. I think Jeremy. I think the meme that you sent me was the Walking Dead one where he's like ordering the popcorn bucket. And he's like, I know what kind of man you are.
So I thought about ordering two and asking for no popcorn in one of them and just carrying it with me.
Can I get another one? Just no popcorn. No extra butter. Extra butter, no popcorn. Well, fantastic, excellent. So Jeremy's looking forward to the popcorn bucket for
Gonna
Dune
close
2.
that out real quick. That is a not safe for work image.
Not safe for work.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
But Ass, what's new with you, buddy?
Oh, well, I just found out about this new Dune 2 popcorn bucket. And I'm now scarred for life. I don't know what else to say about that. Nothing's new, I guess. I'll be looking forward to purchasing one of these brand new fight sticks that I've heard that Capri has for sale. Pretty sure there's a website out there I need to find. And go ahead and make that purchase real quick. But other than that, still a combo breaker is, one day closer. Still need my plane ticket. I got to get my plane.
When is
ticket
when is the combo? When is the convention combo?
It's end of May. It's the last weekend of May over in.
We're gonna be sleep apnea brothers. We're gonna bump CPAPs.
Well, hey, I don't have mine anymore.
You don't have yours anymore.
No,
Darn.
I don't need mine anymore.
Okay.
You guys can share you're underwater together. You're sharing one regulator, passing it to each other, taking a hit, passing to the next person.
But no, I'm super stoked that I got a room in the venue, so we can just go downstairs. We can have as many drinks as we want, and we don't have to drive anywhere. So. I'm very excited about that. Plus, the restaurant in the hotel is fantastic.
It's great.
It's
freaking great.
I love that restaurant. You could say they've got so much stuff on the menu. You can't have the same thing twice. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Makes me
And then,
think of-
Did you mention we're getting
stuff right
drunk?
there. Do what?
Did you mention we're getting drunk too?
Probably. I mean, that's isn't that
any conventions that's definitely that's
mandatory.
a must.
it's mandatory. I'm sure they'll have the Red Bull stuff set up again. Although I don't think I'll be doing that again. That was pretty bad. I'll bring in my own I'll bring in my water flask, and we'll have
our flasks.
I'll have it filled with beer or something, and then when I run out, I'll just run back up to the restaurant and be like, "Can y'all just fill this up real quick?" So, and CJ is now frozen, guys. He's
Frozen there. Or doing
he's
a bit.
officially frozen, and a very excited pose, by the way. That's the marketing strategy for his fight sticks. These are the fight sticks right here.
It's definitely out of all the sort of places to be frozen in. That's one of the best.
That's
I will
one of the
say
best
it's
ones.
not a bad one there. It looks pretty good to me.
That's a good one.
But Acid looks like you're very excited for Combo Breaker.
Very
CJ,
excited.
has got stuff going on. And of course, Jeremy's looking forward to that popcorn bucket. Unlimited access to that popcorn bucket. So for me, obviously, we just lost CJ there, but
I'm sure he'll be back.
for me, still playing Halo and still enjoying Halo a lot. And I had my first soccer game with my rec league soccer group on Monday. All right, so I'm sure you have 2 questions for me. I'm guessing. What are those questions going to be?
Why are you still in a soccer league?
That's true. Okay, that's additional.
Did you score?
Okay, so the first question is, did I personally score a goal? The answer is yes, I did. I did score a goal. It was pretty sweet. So I'm
Was
pretty
it
excited about that.
while everyone fell over and was trying to get back up?
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. It was actually a pretty sweet goal. The second question is what? What's the second question you have for me?
What body part did you injure?
So that's another. So my Jeremy, you've been receiving texts from me, and that's with my concern with my Achilles, because both my Achilles on both sides are extremely sore to the point where I could barely walk. I was actually kind of scared when I was walking downstairs. I was like, am I going to tear my Achilles just walking down the stairs right now? But they actually feel a whole lot better. I took the my massage gun, and I kind of worked my Achilles a good bit there, and actually made it feel a lot better. But that's not the second question that I wanted you to ask.
I thought it was
First
a
question.
good question. I thought it was.
Did
I guess
you throw your hands in the air and run 100 yards screaming goal?
No, but I did
You
have a
slid,
little
didn't you?
celebration.
You did the
When I
slide.
scored, I gave a little boo. I gave a little dance. But then
Slide across
I
the
was
The question
pretty
is,
excited about the
did
goal
you
I
win the
scored.
game?
That's the second question, right? So hold on, let me get CJ back in here. We lost CJ. I want to make sure he's in here because, frankly, I want to brag to CJ. CJ, you missed I was talking about what was new with me. Can you hear me, CJ? We got you. All right, so CJ,
Yeah.
I was telling the guys here, they're very familiar with what's going on, but my very first game of my rec league soccer league. So I'm playing rec soccer this season. I got a team when we played our first game on Monday. And what 2 questions do you have for me, CJ?
You bring your icy hot?
That's yes. It was rough afterward. What are the 2 questions? Come on, CJ. What are the 2 questions you want to ask me?
I didn't. Well, I don't know what to ask you. I didn't even know you played soccer. What position did you play?
I played offense. So
Offense? Okay.
I played striker. So there's 2 questions you should ask me, right? So we played our first game. What's the first one?
Did you win?
Well, that answer is yes. We did win. We won. And the second question you want to ask me is what?
How much time did you play on the field?
I played the majority of the game. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Did you get injured?
Just tell him.
Did I score a goal?
Oh, did you score?
Question.
Yeah.
I scored a goal. I scored a goal. It's pretty awesome. I was pretty excited about that. So yeah, we won. I did score a goal.
Was it like the? Or
It was-
Oh my God.
What move did you do? Like what power?
I did a little boom. The press down. That's what I did. I did the press
the
down.
LeBron press.
Yeah, I did the LeBron press. And
Wow.
but
That just
What's
happened.
that? What's that stupid little shuffle people do? I think it's from Fortnite.
Which one are you talking? Are you talking about the floss or like the this one,
I don't know.
the gritty or whatever it's called?
That's that thing.
The gritty.
You should do that.
I don't know if I can do that.
All right,
don't know
all right, Anthony, since you wanted us to ask you these questions, we now demand that you stand up. Go ahead, stand up.
Oh,
Stand up.
you want to see my crotch?
No.
The camera's in the wrong position.
All right, and
Show
now
us what you got.
do the victory score dance for us right now.
All right, so it was LeBron. It was quite literally.
Okay.
I I did the LeBron. I gave a little LeBron, and then of course I high-fived my teammates.
I was
I was pretty
expecting
excited.
maybe a DBZ with the person that gave you the assist and Hashin Pow,
That's
you
it.
know, and touch fingertips.
I could have done that too. I don't know. I didn't. In the moment, that just felt the LeBron felt right. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, that was what's new with me. I'm looking forward to our next game. Hopefully, I'll score again.
You're
All
such
right,
a doctor.
I hope you do.
No, very good. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our topic for today. Once again, our topic is we're going to create our dream cast for the MCU X-Men. And what we've done is we've assigned characters to everybody. We'll do one at a time. We'll say who our character is, and we'll give our dream cast, who we think should be
Are we doing this
cast as that character.
the whole team or just one character at a time?
We'll do one, and we'll kind of go around. We'll go in a circle. We'll do all three of ours, in a round robin sort of a situation or whatever. So I'll go ahead and start off with mine. So let me just tell you who I was assigned. And by assigned I mean I picked them. So I had Gambit, I had Rogue, and I had Nightcrawler. Were my three that I had. All right, so I'm gonna start with Gambit, and I thought about this for a lot. So at first, when I was like, all right, so do I need to look up French actors? Of course, I don't know many French actors, and then I was like, well, can I find like a young actor who could probably do like a Cajun accent? Who do I feel?
I was gonna say he's not really French, right?
He's Creole.
He's Cajun. But I mean, if you have a French actor, he could be Cajun. I mean, come on, he could do the Cajun thing, right? So then I was like, I wasn't very happy with someone like I thought like Timothy Chalamet, but then I was like, I don't know if I really like him trying to do a Cajun accent. So I found one which I'm actually very, very excited about, and it's a little unconventional, and that's Daveed Diggs. I think Daveed Diggs would make a fantastic Gambit. If you're not familiar with Daveed Diggs, you can Google him, but he was in Hamilton.
Yeah.
In Hamilton, and he was in one of my favorite sci-fi shows of all time, and that was Snowpiercer. I think Daveed Diggs, he's got the charisma. Obviously, he's black, so it's going to offend a lot of comic book nerds. But I seriously think that he would be the perfect Gambit. Because what do you need for a Gambit? You need someone who's got charisma.
Swagger.
He's got swagger. You need someone who, you need someone who's sort of like an anti-hero. And so I think Daveed Diggs could do that. And I feel like Daveed Diggs, he can do the French accent because he did it in Hamilton. He just brings that out, right? And come on, he could do it, right? He worked on it.
Have you heard the story about his French accent in Hamilton?
No, I haven't heard it.
So he, I don't know if it was the casting director or somebody, he was concerned about it because he plays Jefferson and
Lafayette.
Lafayette, and he didn't know how to do it, and they told him just go out there and just like wing the most stereotypical French thing you could think of, and that's what he did, and it worked on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it would work in a quieter role, but he's a great
That's
actor.
what acting coaches are. That's what that's what you have. That's why you hire those people to do that. So I seriously think that Daveed Diggs could be a fantastic Gambit, because I feel like Gambit could go one or two ways. It could go seriously wrong, but if you find the right actor, I feel like it could be a lot. So that's my first one for Gambit. We'll go ahead and put that in our roster. We'll go with Acid. Acid, why don't you go ahead and give us one of yours?
Okay, so you want me to just give you the three characters I chose first, I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the I went villainy this time, or for this, I went Juggernaut, Exodus, and Apocalypse. Two big dudes and a skinny dude. And I guess I'll start with Juggernaut. Just kind of that big, huge massiveness going on. I thought about it for a little bit. I'd had some little joke characters and that kind of stuff going on, but I guess as far as putting this character to life in an MCU, and I kind of went with current MCU actors already, just if they hadn't played anything at all. And I'm probably going to butcher this guy's last name. It's the guy that played Drax, the Dave Bautista. Is that how you say his last name?
Batista.
Dave
Yeah.
Batista.
I thought that if Juggernaut was going to make his appearance somewhere in the current MCU, I think Dave would do a fantastic job.
All right, going with Dave Batista.
You didn't like what they did with him in Deadpool?
No, I guess not. I get now thinking about it, and I just watched those not too long ago. I guess I would prefer to see. I mean, he did a great job as Drax.
Yeah, I like Drax. Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the X-Men itself cast, I would put him in a role like Juggernaut.
All right, we got Dave Batista as Juggernaut. Of course, Batista's been pretty clear that he's done with Drax. So maybe he's moving on to another MCU character.
Let's do it.
I mean,
It's possible. People can do it.
I was going to say, did he quit? Was he fired?
I mean, what do you
thought
mean
he
by
quit.
fired?
I thought
I thought he was just done with it. Period.
Yeah,
I think he was just done.
I didn't hear.
I thought he just made it. He just made it clear that like that last Guardian.
Yeah. But like he quit. Like I don't know. My memory of it was that it was not an amicable situation. Like
I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's true or not.
like he was leaving the character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
The
don't know
more
if
you
that's,
know. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know if that's the case or not. But go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead and give us, I guess your three, and then tell us who you cast as your first one.
So my three were Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Magneto. So I'll start with Cyclops. I feel like this isn't even really fair because the guy looks exactly like Cyclops in the comics. If anything, he's too charismatic to play Cyclops. But that is Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell.
The played Hangman in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that's a good one.
He's got the look. He's got the jawline.
Yeah.
But I've seen interviews with him. He is really like just a charismatic person, which I've never thought of Cyclops being that way. But yeah, for look alone, he was the first thing that popped in my mind.
I guess he could tone it down a little bit, right?
I mean, because Cyclops is a bit of a tool sometimes, and he kind of has that square jaw that says "respect me," and I'm a tool, you know. But he does well in all his movies, man. Oh my goodness, that's a really good one. Wow, yeah, I would love to see that.
All right. Sounds like we have got a good casting there. Have you heard the rumors that Henry Cavill is interested in Cyclops?
Really?
Would you say he's too buff to do something like that? I did hear about that. He said he wanted to get into
Cyclops
I
really
mean,
isn't a buff kind of character.
It depends who's drawing him. Sometimes he is jacked.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I feel like Henry Cavill. I was hoping Argyle would do better than it did because I thought it was a good shift for him. But I don't know. I feel like he's running the risk of typecasting himself pretty hard.
I see. Yeah. All right. Well, very good. All right, CJ, why don't you give us your three and tell us who yours going to be your dream cast for one of them?
Oh, he's got the card
Put it out
ready.
on a card.
Let's do it.
I take this type of stuff seriously.
All right.
And
Here we go.
also, by the way, Jeremy's always stoic. So my goal, the majority of the time, is try to get some type of smirk out of him during these things. So I was like, what bizarre stuff can I say to get him to get a smirk? But anyways, Mr. Stoic. So I had Storm, Wolverine, and Beast. All right. And I don't want to go for the obvious stuff first. So let's go with Storm. And so each one of these, I have more than one option, and I'm going to go to 2 or 3 options, and then I'm going to tell you the one that's most likely for me. So we start with Storm. So got to go with let me see, my wife's around. I'm going with.
He's
the
going with his
beautiful
side
Zendaya.
piece. his side
Yes,
piece.
Zendaya is definitely one. She's been doing really, really well in a lot of her roles. She knows how to be classy. She does a very good job of doing that. We haven't seen her in a quote unquote sexy role yet. You know, she did that movie with Denzel Washington's son, and it was about a couple, but it wasn't really sexy. It was more mature. But this gives her an opportunity to be, you know, sex because everybody has a crush on some X-Men woman in Storm. A lot of people have a big crush on her, and I think she would do her well. The next one, I would say Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz is gorgeous. She did very well in The Batman. You guys remember The Batman. And I think she would do a pretty decent job as Storm. And then finally, out of the three, Janelle Monáe. Now, I don't know if you guys seen the movie The Glass Onion. She did a phenomenal job at having this slight sense of humor, but also being very serious. She can sing, she can dance, she can do it all, and I think she's drop dead gorgeous. But with all that being said, based off of what or who Storm is, I would have to go with Janelle Monáe. Being that Storm has very deep African roots in some of the comics that are out there. There's a timeline where she's involved with Black Panther and that whole thing. So I think Janelle Monáe would fit right into that space of Black Panther and all that good stuff. So if you seen Janelle Monáe, I'm telling you, you'll immediately fall in love with this lady. I mean, all three of the ladies, I think I've fallen in love with in some form of fashion while watching a movie, and then look at my wife and say, my bad. I promise these ladies are freaking gorgeous, and any one of them could play the role, but I'm going to go with Janelle Monáe.
I like it. So far we have a pretty, looks like we're going with an older cast. I think it's just because like younger casts, like we're just not familiar with.
We're not watching Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So looks like I'm pretty happy with our cast so far. I feel like we got sort of like we got some up and coming actors and actresses, and we got some good talent that I think could really handle. So far so good. So go ahead and get to my second character, and that is Rogue. And I'm actually not sure how to pronounce the last name, but we're gonna go with Lauren Cohen. Lauren Cohen, who played Walking Dead.
Oh,
right,
which character did she play?
The Southern
Glenn's wife.
Glenn's wife.
Oh, Maggie.
Think of her name.
Yeah.
Maggie. Oh, okay. Oh, I love
Maggie
Walking
from
Dead.
Walking Dead.
That's a pretty good one.
Maggie
I like
from
that.
Walking Dead.
I like her.
All right, so I think this could be a lot of fun, especially so she's already got the Southern accent down. She's got the sexiness down. Obviously, the way that I'm thinking of Rogue, I'm thinking like comic book accurate Rogue. So not just like, oh, if I touch somebody, I'll take their powers and that's it, Rogue. I mean, like no, the super strength and everything, Rogue. I feel like she could sort of take on that essence. And I don't know, when I think of Daveed Diggs and Lauren Cohen together, I don't know. I'm
Magic.
I'm on board with this, especially if we're gonna do the whole when will they kind of a situation, So I feel like that would be a lot of fun, and those two characters together, I feel like definitely some chemistry gonna happen between those two. But that's definitely mine. That's gonna be my Rogue. All right. So moving on to Acidtrain. Who you got next?
Okay, so I'll go with Exodus next. Exodus is a character you don't see much at all or hear about at all. Basically, a quick little background of Exodus, if I'm correct. He's very in touch. I say in touch. I think wasn't he Magneto's kind of right hand guy? Just kind of rose up. Oh, I guess he rose up through whatever ranks you want to call that, up to just kind of being Magneto's right hand man. And I want to say Exodus was Cyclops' little brother. Is that right? One of Cyclops' younger brothers.
I don't remember that.
Okay, I may be thinking about somebody else, but anyway, he's not a very I get it. Of course, it depends on who draws him. But he's kind of a more slender, telekinesis, telepathic teleportation, tell of this, tell of that. And I got to thinking, like, who's kind of like the badass that's gonna like kind of not overpower a Magneto, but can hit a role real well. And that was, who did I have for that? Hang on. Nope, I did. Oh, I know. It was Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought would play a very good Exodus. Just, I mean, not just from the look, but I think from kind of like his biography, his acting style. I think that Keanu Reeves can play multiple characters and do very well at them. And I think getting back into,
I love Keanu Reeves. I think he's a great human being. Not a good actor.
What? Thank you.
Oh, come
Thank
on.
you.
Okay,
I
not
didn't say
even
it. You said it. I agree with that.
Not even Constantine.
No.
Wow.
No, I mean, not even Speed. Like, he's just not a good actor. Like, that's
Bill and Ted
man.
is pushing it.
yeah.
See, I loved him in Constantine. I didn't care for the John Wick stuff. No, Keanu Reeves really hit home for me with The Matrix. That was probably the best Keanu work, in my opinion. But I liked this. I mean, the story of The Matrix was probably overpowering that too, and that was probably a lot of it. But
we definitely have an A-list cast going on here so far. I don't know how Marvel's going to pay for all these X-Men to be on the same screen together, but I'm pretty excited to see it. Jeremy, who do you got next?
So my number two I guess my number one for Jean Grey. I didn't realize we were doing MCU, and I kind of think too much of this person to want her in the MCU. But that is Saoirse Ronan. She is an Irish actor.
Saoirse Ronan.
So if you saw the new Little Women,
oh yeah. Okay,
she was in that. She was in Mary Queen of Scots. She was in Lady Bird.
Yep, she was in Lady Bird.
I think, like, for my money, she's outside of Meryl Streep. She's probably the best working female actor. Yeah, I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We're adding some acting talent to Jean Grey. I feel like Jean Grey. That's a tough one. Because either Jean Grey is often portrayed as sort of like the damsel in distress, or she's like completely overpowered. So it'd be kind of fun to see sort of like an interesting, middle ground there, and having an actress who can sort of handle that. That would be.
She auditioned for the part of Luna Lovegood in Harry Potter and didn't get it.
Oh, fun fact.
According to this, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's.
Oh, that was interesting. But yeah, I know you're talking about this. I like her.
Yeah, I think at one point, I think she was for like her age, she had the record for most Oscar nominations. She's
really
very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, fantastic. I'm liking the way that we're casting these X-Men. I feel like we got something good here. So CJ, what do you got?
All right, the next one we have is Wolverine. All right, so now, the very, very easy one to get, and everybody's been saying it, is Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter. He, if you go towards a traditional Wolverine was not big and massive. He was petite. That was kind of the point. He was petite, fast, and doing everything. Little fun fact. People don't realize the reason why Wolverine was the only person wearing yellow. People think he doesn't care. No, he wore yellow because that's the brightest, and he wanted everybody to attack him, and because he had the ability to heal himself and nobody else did. So, but Daniel Radcliffe, he's a very small guy. He's a very petite guy, and I think that'd be more comic book accurate, right? But here goes one that I don't think people are thinking about, and kind of gives off the same traditional Wolverine look. I'm going to throw a wild card to you. I'm going to say Carl Urban from The Boys. I think he would do a phenomenal job. He's done a great job in The Boys. You see the temper that he has in The Boys, and I think he would do a great job of a dude that has a chip on his shoulder. So
from Star Trek.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Carl Urban.
Okay.
You
Because
mean the guy who I have an autograph right here
Yeah, I
at the
was
top?
about to say there it is.
yes. Yes. So I'm gonna go
Bones,
with
too.
Carl Urban because it's not the easy point, right? We Daniel Radcliffe, he's very serious. The direction he's gone in his acting is very serious, and I don't think the Wolverine role, though it's serious, there's these little snarky comments that Wolverine does, and I just don't think Daniel Radcliffe would be able to have the same delivery as Carl. It just kind of is what it is.
I
And you can
will.
hear-
I will defend him a little bit. So
okay,
Daniel Radcliffe has a couple movies that are very funny. One being Swiss Army Man, and two Guns Akimbo.
yeah. Well, here it is. So is it that is it situational humor, or is it the way he's acting in his delivery? Kind of like Elijah Wood is like that, right? He was in that what is it, Wilford TV show, and the situations was in and the way they wrote it made it funny, and the dog was the funnier thing. Would you say the same thing with Daniel there, or
I would for Swiss Army Man. Guns
Okay.
Akimbo, he's genuinely funny in
okay,
it.
okay,
But yeah, I think Carl. I agree. Carl would probably be better. They are both very hairy,
yes,
which
that
would
too.
work out well.
Mhm.
Although seeing Harry Potter run a strong steroid cycle and put on 70 pounds
Yeah,
would
that'd
be
be
funny.
crazy. I would love to see it.
Very good. Well, we got our Wolverine in. Very important to have that character in. You can't have the X-Men without Wolverine, really. So let's go ahead and get to our third and final character. So my last one was Nightcrawler. I thought about this a lot. So I think I found someone who I feel like could have a lot of fun with it, because I feel like with Nightcrawler, you could potentially pick like a character who sort of just gets left behind. Like if the actor doesn't have it, like the Nightcrawler just becomes just another like background character. You need someone who can like he brings something to the table what makes Nightcrawler interesting. And the person I thought of was Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in It. I feel like if he kind of went with a German accent and he kind of went all out for Nightcrawler, I think that would be a lot of fun. So, and I feel like he kind of puts a lot into his roles in terms of like his physicality. Like if he sort of like really went in and sort of like the the nimble, sort of like animalistic elements of Nightcrawler, I feel like you could have a lot of fun with that. So I'll say
Look at him in The Crow. The Crow kind of
Okay.
gives off that when he did that role.
well, very good, excellent.
And
So
I
Bill
forgot they
Skarsgård-
remade The Crow. I never watched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Bill Skarsgård is mine. What about you, Acid?
All right, my third and final is Apocalypse. Another big dude from X Factor. Just kind of all in all serious, loud, mean, and everything. And I got to thinking, who have I not seen in a while do something that's big, or big-ish. You're gonna have to CGI half of this guy because he's massive. I mean, same with Juggernaut anyway. But as far as actors go, I had to go with Tyrese Gibson actually on this one. Just because I hadn't seen him in a while. I think, you don't see Apocalypse at all. And so I figured if they're going to throw anything into the MCU like Apocalypse, I think Tyrese would be loud and proud and do it well.
Well, it would be interesting to see Tyrese try to act.
Try to act?
try to act, but yeah, that's definitely been interesting. Apocalypse. There.
Did whatever happened with him in the Fast and Furious thing? I know he had a big fight with
The Rock.
The Rock.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that.
I think The Rock's the one that left so he can do the spin-offs, and Tyrese stayed.
I thought The
Yeah.
Rock had a fight with Vin Diesel.
Oh, he was fighting everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, very good, excellent. But yeah, so there you go. You got Tyrese. Jeremy, what's your third one?
So for Magneto, I don't know how much is the fact that I just really like this person, but I chose Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, okay.
So he does have a pretty harsh accent. You could probably shift it a little bit to make it more German sounding. Although that's pretty close already. But yeah, I mean, he historically plays villains very
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Casino Royale, in Hannibal, had a Netflix movie called Polar that was really good. He was kind of like an anti-hero. But yeah, I think he would be a good Magneto. He has the sort of presence of power that Magneto has.
And could you imagine all the slash fiction made for him? People already love him from Hannibal. But well, fantastic. We got our villain. I just realized that we never assigned anyone Professor X, which is fine. But I guess we don't really.
I don't know. I thought about him, and Patrick Stewart is such a perfect cast that it's hard to think of anyone else.
That is true. That is definitely true.
I can't think of anybody else for sure.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to CJ. What's your last one, CJ?
My last one's Beast. I have three for this one. The first one is John Boyega. I think he did a wonderful job in Star Wars. He's a great up-and-comer. He has the jawline. He has the face structure for something like that, to where they can put quite a few prosthetics on him to make him look the way he needs to look in that particular space. David Harbour from Stranger Things. He already was in the MCU as, what was it, Captain Russia or whatever. He did a good job of that. So I guess technically he's off the list, but I think he would have done a better job as Beast than that. That Russian accent was kind of forced, but whatever. And the last one, I'm gonna throw it completely all the way left field, keep on within the Batista space. I'm gonna go with John Cena.
Okay,
John Cena John Cena has. Granted, the first part of it is you probably wouldn't be able to see him the whole movie. That's the first thing. It is what it is. You can't see me, John Cena.
Sure.
Right. But outside of that, John Cena has done a very good job with his action movies. He's done a great job in the DCU. And then he is just jacked to freaking heaven, man. And that's what Beast is. He's a big dude going around just beating things up. So I don't think it would take much, no different than The Rock, to get him in that space to be enormous. And then, look at John Cena's arms. He's standing upright and he can still touch his toes without bending over. His arms are massive. People don't realize that he's wearing a headband on his arm. That's how big John Cena. When's the last time you put a headband on your arm and it didn't slide off? John Cena is enormous, and then he has a really, really big head. So of course, it just works. And so I'm gonna overall go that direction with John Cena and just say he's gonna be our guy. And I think he'd be a wonderful addition to the MCU, especially as the DCU is so slowly but surely fizzling out and re-emerging with something else.
All right, I think we got a good cast there so far. Of course, with John Cena, all I can think of is all his lines from Trainwreck, where he gets in that fight in the movie theater.
You get to see John Cena tomorrow in Mortal Kombat.
Yes, he is coming out in that. Yes.
Yeah.
Was he going to be Peacemaker or
he will be Peacemaker? Yeah.
Oh, very good, excellent. But John Cena, I think we got a good cast here. I think we got something very interesting. I think we need to call Hollywood, send them a letter, and let them know that we have this. We already solved the problem. They don't have to worry about it anymore. But
I do have a question though.
All right.
What storyline are they going to be on though? because I think that makes the difference in the way that they're presented. You know, are they going to be more like the cartoon and they're going to meet Cable and Bishop and all those good stuff and they're coming back to prevent some of the things in the future? Are they going to meet up with the Avengers? Are they going to meet up with the Fantastic Four? What is there any storyline specifically that would
Or do
make good
you
for these guys?
reboot the X-Men?
Oh, that's true too. Are there going to be spinoffs from the X-Men? You know, we had the Avengers, you know, and everything was like Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, and then they came to a head with the Avengers. Are we going to start with like Wolverine, Storm, you know, Gambit, and Rogue, all these characters, and then have them come to a head to become the X-Men, and now you have the X-Men universe standing next to the Avengers universe?
I mean, that's a good question. I feel like I've always, when it comes to X-Men movies, I feel like the main problem that all the X-Men films have is that there's just too many X-Men. Like there's just too many X-Men on the film or on the screen. I've always feel like if you're going to start the X-Men over again, if we're going to reboot the X-Men, you need to have like 4, maybe 5 X-Men only. And that's it. Like you just establish those characters, and maybe in the sequels you add 1 or 2. You don't go crazy. You don't add like 5. Like you don't just add 1 or 2 more extra ones. I think that's what made First Class so successful. Is like even though they were like the D-list X-Men, like Banshee had Banshee and that sort of
Right.
And it still was interesting because you sort of establish these characters, you flesh them out. You make them interesting, and I feel like that's what made it so interesting. So if we're going to do X-Men again, it needs to be something like this. I feel like the mistake that I see that the MCU is going to do is they're going to do some sort of like X-Men versus Avengers thing. Like they're going to take the X-Men versus the Avengers comic book and make that into a thing. And it's just going to be too many characters to the point where we're just not going to care about the X-Men at all. I feel like you need an X-Men film first. Maybe it has something to do with them, like sort of discovering a connection to the MCU. But like you start with X-Men first, and then you can start thinking about how it interacts with the Avengers.
So now, see, now we're going down the rabbit hole. Here it is. So they technically already started that with Colossus, Juggernaut, through Deadpool, right? Mm-hmm. And Colossus, I think he's a wonderful X-Men. You know,
yep.
he's not on the A team necessarily, but he's still an integral part of the X-Men clan. And not to say that it needs a reboot or anything if you're going to keep on spinning from that, but I think that might be a good start. However, it's like, are we going to? So if you do something like the way you're describing it, that means you have to exclude the Professor X. He's a sub character now because we're not concerned about the ethics of mutants anymore, right? That's the whole Magneto, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King kind of comparison. You know, fight them with peace versus fighting with violence. So then, are we going to go down that? Jean Grey is the best, or are they going to continue on with Miss Marvel? Because Miss Marvel is here, right? And technically we haven't seen Rogue touch her yet to take her powers, and she accidentally keeps them. So there's a lot of stuff that can go into that. And kind of to your point, just focusing on that 1 or 3 or 4 X-Men and not just going awry and just touching everything. Imagine going down the Nick Fury timeline like they're doing now. But imagine doing that first while the Avengers are going on. That would be very hard to keep up with.
You know what I think they should do? And I don't think Marvel has the patience to do this right now. But if you're going to have an X-Men film, I really think that what you need to do is you need to like make it like the first X-Men comic. You have Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, and Iceman, and that's it.
An Angel.
That's the team. That's the team, and you go with that. That's your first film. Maybe you sort of could point to other X-Men coming in later on, but like that's the team. And you sort of like you make that like you you cast good actors for that, and then if you want to say, all right, our next film, we're going to add some characters. Maybe you just don't have Iceman come back.
I was gonna say the
Would you-
problem is Iceman is just not cool.
No,
Like,
not
Even
yeah.
even
Well, I
though
mean,
he's
definitely cool. He's ice cool.
all right. He's
Oh.
I mean he's an Omega mutant, one of the most powerful, yada yada yada. But he's just not an interesting character. And same thing with Angel. Like Angel didn't become interesting until he joined Apocalypse and became Archangel.
I mean, you can say
Right.
the same thing about Star-Lord. Star-Lord was an interesting character in the comics. I mean, you
They
gotta
made
find the
they
right
made
actor.
something of it. But
Yeah.
would you after that first movie, would you do prequels, or would you have like a Cyclops? Because they didn't just be like, boom, here's the Avengers. It was Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Thor. Well, Thor came after Avengers, I think. I can't remember the order, but they did have like movies before the Avengers came along. Or do you just it just makes more sense? Just hey, we just jump right in like Ninja Turtles. They're already there. They're already doing their thing, and then we can start splitting it up and then bringing it back together.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely different directions you can go in with that, but I always feel like the least X-Men character is the best, the better, because you can actually flesh the characters out. You can actually, cast A-list celebrities for every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So one more question then. What is the end state, right? Because kind of the end state at the end of the Avengers kind of saga, it's like, boom, we got the multiverse, right? And then it kept on going. And then we have the, Kang the Conqueror. And then it's like, all right, there's going to be another end story. So is there a conclusion to this X-Men story? Or is it just like, it is what it is. It's going to be episodic. It's going to keep on going until these movies don't make money no more.
That's probably more the fact.
I mean, they're getting close to that, or like they've got to slow down and reassess because they've had too many strings of movies not do nearly as well as they expected. And same thing with Star Wars. Like Disney shelved the whole chunk of Star Wars content because it was, they figured out they were just spitting stuff out, and people's appetite for it was sated. Yep. And you started getting low quality, and so I think they're gonna have to go about it methodical. But yeah, I don't know how you have a whole combined universe. Like, could you imagine tossing in the X-Men alongside like in an Infinity War situation?
Yeah,
like
it's just not gonna be possible.
Yeah, you definitely have to introduce these characters in slowly. Like you would have to take the same strategy, of course.
And now Fantastic Four is coming, right? So you
Yeah.
get all of them.
yeah.
You would have. I mean, I think the smartest thing would be, we're gonna make a Fantastic Four movie. We're gonna make an X-Men movie. They're in the same universe, but they're not touching each other just yet. Like I don't think they have the patience to do that. But I think that's the bet. Like we need to have some good films first.
Yes,
Well,
I don't disagree. Especially you got to give them enough time to either hate or love the character. So when the Human Torch finally dies, and the Thing doesn't know how to handle his emotions, we have to be able to sympathize with the Thing, and thus David Banner coming over. Not David Banner, I'm thinking of rapper. Bruce Banner comes over and tries to console the Thing, and that would be an incredible fight, by the way, to actually see it in person. So just so he can get all that emotion out. And I don't think the original Fantastic Four allowed you to relate to the characters like the Thing and be able to sympathize with his Iraq issue and understanding that he's like Shrek and he comes to you in layers. I think I'm with you guys. It just needs to get to you really slow so that you can absorb the information that they're giving you.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 10-year plan here.
Yeah.
We haven't. Well, so like we have a Fantastic Four film. Let's try to make it the best Fantastic Four film we can make. Then we make an X-Men film, and then we have some sequels.
Yeah.
And maybe we throw in some fun crossovers, like Daredevil shows up somewhere or whatever, and then like we're slowly introducing it, and then we sort of culminate into some sort of like in-game situation.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if you want to see like a Reed Richards, Hank Pym brain session, they got about 3 years because Michael Douglas is not getting any younger.
Yeah.
Unless you just redo it as, it's not Hank Pym. Do it. The Ant-Man part of it. Like if you want to do like the Illuminati kind of a situation.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, very good. Well, there's our cast. There you go. Of course, you can always like and subscribe and tell us what do you think? Well, who's the person that you want as your X-Men? Did we get it wrong? Once again, just to remind you that you can check out all our podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. And also, Star Trek Adventures, we're still doing that regularly. So if you're a fan of that, you can always check that out in podcast form, YouTube form as well. Acid will be our GM this time. He's taking the reign of the GM this time. So I'll be playing my character, Dr. Danar, who was like that name came to me. That name came to me. I don't know where that came from, but looking forward to playing that as well.
Dr. Danar may die in the first role. We'll have to see.
That character right off the bat. But CJ, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's always my pleasure, man.
Jeremy, always good to have you here as well. And Acidtrain, couldn't do this without you.
Sure,
All
you
right,
could.
so
you just won't be able to see
that
it.
is it. That is it for today. I'll say goodbye to the audience. Goodbye.